Good afternoon, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. This is Rich again, back for your second video blog of the day for Friday, June 12th, 2015, around 5:03 in the afternoon in Berwick, Massachusetts. Still a little bit humid today, and it's in the 80s, and the air conditionings are cranking up, but it's supposed to be drier this weekend. Some news to report: actress Melissa Gilbert owes the IRS over $360,000 in back income taxes. She better pay up, or Eleanor Shyster will be at her house repossessing her personal belongings to pay for the IRS. And that's about it on news. My second video blog subject of the day is about the history of the WWE Hardcore Championship, mainly the Hardcore title being defended under 27 rules gimmick. The Hardcore title was introduced in the fall of 1998, and WWE owner Vince McMahon gave it to Mankind as a token of his appreciation for being a hardcore wrestler. The Hardcore title for the WWE was a ripped up old WWE title belt, and originally the Hardcore title was going to be used for comedy sketch acts for the WWE, but Mankind did not defend it that much. He lost it to the Big Boss Man a few weeks later, and then the Hardcore title became a lot of seriousness. The Road Dogg Jesse James won it a couple of times, and then Al Snow and Hardcore Harley had a feud over the Hardcore title during the spring and summer months of 1999. Some of them had great matches on pay-per-views and stuff. One time, Al Snow's Moosehead won the Hardcore title because he temporarily lost head and stuff. And who could forget the Hell in a Kennel match for the Hardcore title between Al Snow and the Big Boss Man. That was at a WWE pay-per-view in 1999. Pretty good stuff. But by 2000, the Hardcore title changed from kind of a serious title back to a comedy title that was used for comedy segments of Raw and SmackDown. It happened when Crash Holly beat Test for the Hardcore title on an edition of SmackDown, and afterwards, Crash Holly told Lillian Garcia, who was interviewing him, about he would defend this title 24/7 anywhere, if it's at a hotel or a supermarket or even a strip club. If there was a WWE referee present, he would defend the Hardcore title, and then on several Monday Night Raws and SmackDown, many WWE superstars were trying to gun for Crash Holly. One time, the Mean Street Posse faced off and beat Crash Holly at the airport, but somehow Crash Holly got it back. And then there was another segment when the Headbangers were chasing Crash Holly through a kids' amusement park, indoor amusement park. Pretty funny and stuff as well. At WrestleMania 16, there was a Hardcore Battle Royal, 15 minutes. The winner of that Battle Royal, at the end of 15 minutes, will get the Hardcore title. The Hardcore title changed hands about 6 or 7 times. It ended up with Hardcore Holly winning it. He wasn't really supposed to win. I think Crash Holly was going to somehow retain the Hardcore title, but Crash Holly was knocked out cold, so Hardcore Holly won the Hardcore title at WrestleMania 16. But at the next night, Crash Holly regained the Hardcore title at Raw, and then they had the wrestlers again try to beat up on Crash Holly and take the Hardcore title. All of these segments were used for comedy segments and stuff, but these were great segments in my opinion. It got many of these wrestlers the TV time they needed, because this was in the height of the Attitude Era with Triple H, The Rock, DX, Kane, Undertaker and stuff, so they needed some TV time on Raw and SmackDown. They even had a couple of times the Hardcore title being won on house shows, but they would do it just to pop up the house shows to see anything happens at a house show, but the original title holder would regain the hardcore title before the night was over and stuff like that. And they even had a few women win the hardcore title, including one of Godfather's hoes, and Terry Runnels, and Molly Holly, and I think Trish Stratus won at one time. And during, like, in May of 2000, they had one of Vince McMahon's stooges, Gerald Briscoe, beat Crash Holly while he was sleeping on a segment of SmackDown, and they counted 1, 2, 3, and afterwards Gerald Briscoe wins, and then he trips over something, and Crash Holly wakes up, and he lost the hardcore title, and he chases after Gerald Briscoe and stuff like that. And eventually Gerald Briscoe and Crash Holly feud over the hardcore title. Crash Holly wins it back, then Gerald Briscoe wins it back, and one time after, with interference by his stooge cohort, Pat Patterson. Afterwards, when Pat Patterson and Gerald Briscoe were celebrating the hardcore victory, Pat Patterson hits his stooge member, Gerald Briscoe, with champagne, and then the referee comes in, 1, 2, 3, and Pat Patterson wins the hardcore title. Very funny. And then at the King of the Ring 2000, Mr. McMahon orders Gerald Briscoe and Pat Patterson in a hardcore title match under evening gown rules. This was so funny. And but at the end of the night, Crash Holly regains the hardcore title. Eventually, Steve Blackman wins the hardcore title, and they kind of lost some luster without Crash Holly involved in the hardcore title and stuff, because the hardcore title 24/7 rule was Crash's Holly. That it was this great gimmick and stuff for him. It got him on television. It made him a mid-card act, and he was very good at it. But when they defocused on Crash Holly as the hardcore champion, and him not fighting it, going into mid-card act and stuff with the Holly cousins and stuff, it kind of lost their luster. They had like Kane and Test and Raven after the hardcore title. They even had Shane McMahon win it one time, but he lost it to Steve Blackman at SummerSlam 2000 after a sick bump off the Titantron and stuff. And the hardcore title, was continuing to be like, it wasn't as popular after the 24/7 rule. The 24/7 rule still stayed in effect, but it wasn't popular after Crash Holly got demoted from doing the hardcore title gimmick and stuff like that. And eventually the hardcore title was eventually discontinued in the summer of 2002 when it merged with the Intercontinental title. The last champion to win the hardcore title was Rob Van Dam and stuff. What did I think about the 24/7 rule of the hardcore title for the WWE? It was one of those gimmicks that was kind of a decent gimmick. It was probably one of the underrated gimmicks of the Attitude Era and stuff, and they always, and from time to time when they had it, like the hardcore title won at house shows, they did it to be a surprise, because nothing too much happens at house shows and stuff like that, because it's not televised, and like they always says, if it's not shown on TV, it never happened. And I like Crash Holly a lot as the hardcore champion. Many times that was his best gimmick was the hardcore championship, and it's too bad, because Crash Holly could have been in that gimmick for a few years and stuff. But I think eventually they probably wanted to move him to maybe light heavyweight, or with it the Holly cousins, Hardcore and Molly Holly. Crash Holly had some demons backstage. What I read in Bob Holly's book, that Crash Holly backstage would drink like crazy, like that it was like going out of style. Eventually Crash Holly passed away. He committed suicide in 2003. He was only 32 years old, so that was so sad. They made a hardcore DVD 2001 for WWE, and it chronicles a lot about the 24/7 rule. So it's a good DVD. I have it. that's about it on the Hardcore 24/7 for WWE. And I'll be back with the third and final video blog of the night, which will be about WHDH weekend meteorologist Bree Eggers. I'll be back and see you later.